Okay. We are live. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Brent says, typical guy late. I just came from match play and I had to eat dinner and get the stream ready. My laptop was all packed up still, so I had to get it out so I could monitor the stream. I have to make sure my volume is actually down because, yeah, it wasn't. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so bit of chaos, but I'm here. We're good. We are live, and thank you for joining everyone that's here. Guys, I wanted to be top 25 at AM Worlds with a goal of top 50, a hope for top 25, and I took 15th place. I'm very happy. I had a very good week at AM Worlds. It was really cool to be able to compete. Thought he was watching Paul on Tour Life. No, I was not watching Tour Life. I was playing a match play, funny enough, against Stoner, who Jacob Stoner and I were rooming together for AM Worlds. And we both had great round ones. I went 11 down to tie for the hot round, and Stoner went 10 down. And then we came back to Charlotte separately, and then we were in a match play against each other, which is pretty great. But just here to see what clear discs he got from the tournament. Okay. Doc's here for the important stuff. So you're saying if I wait to show you till the end, you'll stay for the whole thing. Thanks for letting me know. That's good. I'll plan on that. Good strategy. Brent says because you were too good at Worlds or too good at match play. Because I did wreck Stoner today. Just saying, he got destroyed. Just till Smashbox starts. Okay, what time is that? I can't remember when all of your stuff starts. There, you've got a few. Brent says, "Show me now. I'm sleepy." Okay, all right. I'll give you a glimpse here. So I snagged. We'll start with the non-discs. Players pack includes a very nice thin long sleeve shirt. I'm pretty happy about this. I like the color. I like the quality of the fabric. So I feel like this is really good. 9 o'clock. Okay, so 15 minutes. I'll make sure that you see everything. And so I'm pretty excited. I haven't tried it yet because it was very hot in Missouri. But yeah, I'll get this, probably wash it first and then get this tried out soon. But I'm excited to wear it, especially in the fall. I like to put on that thin athletic long sleeve for events and everything. So that'll be great, especially for the morning. I got myself a basket cover that leaves that smaller hole so that you refine your accuracy when you're putting for your putting practice. So I got one of those for a practice basket, just to pull it over. Long sleeve for you in blue, just how you like it. Yes, it's great. I want to stay warm. About cool enough here in the States right now? No, it was a cooler day, but it wasn't that cold. But yes, soon I'm sure there will be days, evenings where I'm going to want to wear that long sleeve. It's going to be very convenient. And then I got a little towel, which is always great. I like to pack in extra towels, always have an extra 4 towels if I can in the bag. All right. This is interesting because I won my card because I had the best round on my card, which funny enough was tied for hot round and also only one better than RJ, who was on my card, who took second place. Spoilers for AM Worlds, sorry about that. Because I won my card, I won this new Gateway prototype driver. I don't know what it is, but it is a prototype driver. It's got a little dome to it. It's got some metal flake. I've never been a huge Gateway fan. I've never pretended like I was. It kind of feels like a domey trail. I don't know what the speed is or what it's supposed to do, but that's what it feels like to me. So I'll test it out and find out. But it's cool. It was free because I won my card. Big Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy fan, so towels are always important. Yes. And thanks for all the fish. Brent says game over. What about 11-4-3-2? 11-4-3-2 for the flight numbers? You're saying -3-2 or 3? What? I'm so lost. You make no sense, Doc. Next thing is I have this dynamic disc. Treason. So this is a Treason. Pretty interesting stamp here. Kind of a smiley face, cartoonish Frankenstein monster type design. Zombie. I don't know what it is. Pretty cool. And it has a one of those things, whatever those are called. 11-4-3-2. What kind of flight? What kind of turn is 3? I've never heard of a 3 turn. You're insane. Anyway, this is one of the cooler ones in my opinion. I got this. Oh, it feels really nice. What is this, a buzz? This is a claymore. This is a claymore. I don't know why I'm thinking Discraft for everything, but it's a nice world stamp here. I love the green and blue combination. It has just a nice coloration to it. It almost feels like Cosmic Neutron plastic, which is nice. That's appealing to me. So it's pretty cool. So you got the claymore. Here we go. A little more, slightly more docs actually see through, but it's getting there. You can see through it a little bit. Some coloration. I wonder what you can see with that. 11-4 -2-1. That would make sense to me. And that'd be close to a trail, but I guess that's more of a rogue. What are 11 speed 4 glides are there? I think this is a Scorch. Pretty sure this is a Scorch. And it has that cool Amateur Disc Golf World Championship, Columbia, Missouri stamp on it. So this is a shelf disc. This is a thrower, and I might even try it out. I have had a Claymore in the past, so we'll see how that flies. Vonix says it's a smooth throw. That's good to know. I'll have to test out that Gateway prototype. Another Amateur Disc Golf Championship stamp. I think this is a Luna. I'm wrong. This is a Swan 2. Again, I'm just guessing Discraft discs for all of these. So the Swan 2. I don't remember if that's a combination or what it is, but it's very, very cool. So Swan 2. And I've got another of the Amatuer Worlds 25 stamp. This is a loop. I think this is Wonder. Huh. It is a Wonder loop. PDJ approved. I'll have to give it a toss. I have no idea what it is, what it does, how it flies. Yeah. I don't know. Seems kind of flippy. I don't know what this is gonna do. Maybe it's stable. Vonix is sending me some extras. I wish I had extra copies of the prototype, but I only have the one. Jackson Ruff says hi. Thanks for hopping on. Here we got ourselves some Discmania. What is this? The Mutant. Yeah, this is the Mutant. I got that one right. I remembered it. So it has that very interesting rim shape here. And this is definitely a tester. I want to try this out and see how it flies. I think actually I'm probably interested in throwing all of these except for the Scorch, which I think is a shelf disc, as well as the Treason, which is probably a shelf disc as well. So those two are probably going to stay. You'll pay shipping. Oh, ones that I don't care for. I don't know if there's specifically discs I don't care for in this players pack, but I do disc giveaways. So if you happen to win a disc, then you can get one. If there's I don't know, if you're really, really interested in buying a disc for me or asking for a disc, you can always message me. We can talk about it. It's possible, but I would rather run a disc giveaway to kind of let somebody win a disc. Got a Gorgon here, maybe a little hard to see, but we got a little Medusa head, which is pretty cool. So she's going after the stamp, turning it to stone, I suppose. Pretty cool. Brent wants the disc. All the ones behind me. No. We got ourselves a Wizard here, Gateway Wizard. Another Columbia Disc Golf Club. Okay, so another Missouri kind of theme to it with a Columbia Disc Golf Club. Very cool. I'm sure that they partially sponsored it. And then discs of the hour. We have the Zone SS. We have ourselves a Zone SS. Doc should be pretty happy. It's not perfectly clear, but you can see right through it. And I believe that this is going to be my shelf disc. I picked the black stamp because I think that it shows better. It really sticks out, stands out pretty well. And then I grabbed a blue one for the bag. So Zone SS, Probably disc review coming at some point. I am backed up on reviews, but now I've snagged one. I'm interested to try it out. I want to see how it flies. And of course, blue for the bag. Blue for the bag. So I'm very excited to try out the Zone SS and see what it does. I think it's just going to be a very, very fun little zippy zone, but without all that bite to it. So I'm excited to throw it. Very cool. So those are the highlight discs, Doc. I'm gonna have to skip some of Smashbox. These are nice discs. The clear zones are sweet. Like the sparkly clear. Nice, nice. Probably just clean off all that ink. No, 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 no. The stamp stays. I have a world stamp on purpose for the design, and then I have blue on purpose for the bag. So I'm not giving those up. But maybe Doc would. Maybe Doc would do that. And I think that is my players pack. So there you go. In sad news, lost my Project Grip Brave in the water. Played a practice hole with a guy and had a bad shot. He said, "Oh, it's right there, easy to retrieve. We'll just finish out the hole, come back and get it." And if I got caught by somebody in the parking lot chatting about disc golf, he recognized me, and then I was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta go get my Project Grip Brave." So I go back, and it's not there. Like I couldn't find it. It just vanished either into the murky depths of the deeper part of the water, or somebody retrieved it and kept it, because there was a pretty good like pile of discs that got pulled out of the water. Project Grip Brave was not one of them. So sadly, this is now the second time that I have not ended up with my Project Grip Brave that I bought. I'll have to get another one. Yes, womp womp, not good. Kipes and Stripes, with as bad as I play, there's no way I would ever find a clear disc. Especially in the woods, you get in the leaves a little bit, it'll tuck it under the leaf. It's just, you'll never see that again. Just vanish forever. Brent says no. I can't read all of those no's. There are too many. Too many O's in the no. Very, very sad. And it was flying really well too. I had an eagle look on hole 17 at Harmony Bends in practice. I threw it past and chained out of the eagle putt on the way back. But I did get an eagle putt in tournament with the Echo, so that was good. I did not make it. Hit the band. Very sad. Coming down the stretch the last round too. That eagle would have been huge. Duck says, told you to take 50-ish extra discs. The Brave was one of the extra discs. What are you talking about? I took 10 extra putters and I used them because I wasn't done with my 2,000 putts. And I took about 20 extra discs and I used 0 of them because my bag was good enough for all 3 courses. I did not have a moment where I said, I don't have a disc for this shot. I never said, oh, I wish I had this disc instead. I never said, I'm going to swap discs for this. I had everything I needed. And honestly, I think my bag was like ready for the courses, especially Harmony Bends, which I played quite well the first day, played really well in practice, putted bad in the third day. I missed 3 circle 1 putts. But overall, I putted really well in the tournament. I only missed 1 circle 1 putt each round for the first 4 rounds. And then I missed 3 in the third round, but all of them in the first 6 holes, just not putting well. Just bleh. Yeah, didn't work out perfectly. Important. On the way back, did you Taco Bell for Todd? I got Taco Bell on the way back. Never fear. I guess I didn't post it. I took a picture. I went to Taco Bell, wore my Taco Bell shirt, got a couple of bits of recognition from the staff, and bought myself some Taco Bell sponsored by my mother-in-law. Thank you. Very, very, very kind and generous. Very awesome. So that was really, really cool, and enjoyed some delightful Taco Bell, guilt-free because I didn't have to pay any of my own money. It was celebration taco money, which is really great. The only downside was I got a 12-pack of Cinnabon Delights, and they were cold on the inside. I ate one. It was cold on the inside. And I kindly walked up to the counter and said, hey, I ate one of these. It was cold on the inside. And the guy says, yeah, they just don't warm up. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, they just like, if I just put them back there in the warmer, they just wouldn't warm up at the inside. So sorry. And I was like, you're just gonna sell them and you're not gonna make it right. You're not gonna do anything. You're just like tough. That was weird. Not a typical Taco Bell experience for me. It's the first Cinnabon Delight that I've ever had that was not warm on the inside, like piping hot deliciousness. It should have at least been free. Anyway, how do you lose your retriever? I lost my retriever. Oh, somebody else. I was say I lost a retriever a long time ago. Looking for a disc in super thick weeds, tall vines. Found one. Went through a whole bush just to grab a DX shark, says Dujit. Bummer, bummer. Yeah, that's oof. Doc says, Dude, I searched and searched for a disc, couldn't find it, found someone else's, and lost my disc retriever. Okay, that's the disc retriever. How do you lose your retriever? Leave it in the tall grass. Went back and never find it. Doc says, mother-in-law, Brad's married. I was married. Emmer Chicken says, just hurt my back and trying to throw again after healing. Any good stretches to do beforehand so I don't pull it? What I understand from high school sports is you don't want to static stretch, you want to a dynamic stretch before you warm up. So basically, whatever motion you're going to be doing, you want to do it at like 20% speed and 20% force. So if you're going to be throwing, you're going to want to just like swing your arm, you're going to want to be warming up that shoulder. If it's your back, then just kind of emulate some of the motions that you're going to be doing and get your muscles prepared for doing it faster and with more power. So there's probably some disc golf specific stretches to kind of get going. But again, I recommend dynamic. So make sure that you dynamic stretch ahead of time and static stretch afterward. When you're done, when you're cooling down, that's the time to have a static stretch. So yes, dynamic stretching, do some warming up, throw some gentle, like I would just take a couple of putters and just throw like gentle throws, 100-foot throws in the field just to get the arm warmed up, do a little bit of a follow through, get your back ready for you to go ahead and spin around after you throw. Yeah. Someone grabbed it in between or I missed it. Yeah, that is a bummer. I think that an airport took my disc retriever because I flew back from Boston with it and I unpacked my bag and it was gone. And I was like, I'm either dumb and left it in the hotel or it got snagged by the airport during a bag check. That was annoying. Worst nightmare is losing my entire bag by just forgetting where I left it. That's why you don't get a camo bag. Pro tip. John Kelly, Wild Honey you recommended came in clutch Monday League 2 weeks in a row. Got longest drive with it, $20, and CTP for another 20 with the cap wrap. Heck yeah, way to go. And you're welcome for the recommendation. It's a good disc. It flies far. I mean, it just added more distance to my max distance with no additional form tweaks or changes or anything like that. And I have to say, it was probably like off the tee second most common disc. Wild Honey was thrown a lot. Anders says, played my first tournament last week on a new course and shot 6 over. Nice. How was the tournament experience? I hope it was fun. And depending on how hard it was, 6 over might actually be a great score too. I have no idea. Pincat says, chat, who got 4th place? I know one person who got 4th place, and it is Vaughn in the chat saying, good question, who got 4th? And not ashamed to say that Vaughn outplayed me this tournament by a fair amount. And it was a great experience. I'm so glad that I got to play with Vaughn 2 different rounds. Unfortunately, they were my 2 worst rounds, both of them at the dam, which just I'll be dropping my practice round footage soon, and you'll be able to kind of see the descent into madness that happened between Miller and Harmony Benz and the waterless, sweaty insanity of trying to practice the dam in the heat with no water refill stations. Didn't go well, and I didn't compete there well, and I don't think that that's disconnected. So anyway, shout out to Vaughn, who did play well at the dam and at every course, basically. and took tied for fourth place, and quite a bit younger than me. So good job, Vaughn. Heck yeah, fantastic putter. Just sends it into the chains. Dude just says, I really think that 2-ish week break, I was super busy, did me well. Shots are coming out flatter and more accurate. There you go. Sometimes taking a week off, you come back and your power surprises you. John Sanders says, TSA probably thought it was a weapon. Or a sweet back scratcher, says Doc. Yeah, it's kind of a silly thing because it's like there are plenty of things. It was also a checked bag. That's the weird thing. And you're allowed to have like tools and machetes and stuff in checked bags because you're giving it to the airport and they're checking it. You're not taking it with you on the plane itself. Well, you're not taking it into the cabin of the plane to be available with the passengers. Like you can check guns, different things like that. So it's like, why was it a problem? I don't know. Just weird. But I guess sometimes security will just go through and just snag something and be like, this is a bad thing. Whatever. The bad habits you envision yourself with kind of fade so you don't think about it. Yeah, breaks can do well. Brent took like 2 months off and came back and went like 1020 rated, 1031 rated, 950 rated, 1030 rated. He was like averaging pretty well. Some good golf. Bailey Moore says, great finish, man. Are you playing USAM dubs this year? Thank you very much. And yes, Brent and I are playing amateur doubles. We're very excited about it. I had the opportunity to play amateur doubles with my brother, my older brother, last year, right before he switched from amateur to the pro division. And my brother Jake and I tied for 5th place. It was a very exciting week. We were tied for first after round 1 and slowly dropped back to 4th and 5th and finished quite well. So I have high hopes that Brent and I enjoy it and also have a really good finish up near the top. If we have a couple of great rounds, I think 3 great rounds, and I think we can win. Fujit says, played my first round of disc golf in 1996. Won novice twice, once an AM, and tied for 5th in advanced AM before I injured my back. Oof, that is really too bad. 1996, man. I was a year old. Doc says, way to go, Vaughn. Is Vaughn really Brent? Vaughn is better than Brent. And Brent here to say, no, he's probably better. Brent, you know you're good, but Vaughn says, pleasure playing with you, Brad. And likewise, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's so cool to see some of the top talent, the other amateurs. And I will say, looking at other amateur players and realizing how much variation there is in strengths, in form, in levels of consistency, and levels of power. Like I was outthrown by most people that I played with in the tournament, but I think I played pretty consistent, and my putting was very good from circle 1, and I hit a few good C2 putts sprinkled throughout, especially the first 4 rounds. The first 3 rounds, not 4 and 5. But then somebody's coming out with this ripped forehand. RJ, amazing forehand, huge forehand, just incredible. Vaughn with a very high speed spinny putt that just slams in the chains. Meanwhile, I'm lofting to put up and dropping into the basket. It's just very cool to see James Collier hitting very spinny step putts from 60 feet over and over and over and over again. That was insane. It's just unique to see the variety of skill, the variety of shot shapes and types. Very, very, very cool. Docs, it's hard to believe, but Brent says it, so it's true. Brent says 1020, 965, 1030, and then a concussion 915. Yeah, Brent, playing through a concussion is not good. Doc says Brent loves love how he says spending time with family is a break. Disc golf break, not break. Pincat says, fun fact, Vaughn eagled hole 1 at Harmony in an unofficial playoff for solo 4th. No way. You did the tiebreaker? That's insane. That's awesome. Dude. I was just leaving with my brother so that he could play around at a local course. We went to Arthur, the other course that we didn't, that the ladies played, we didn't, because he needed to do an online league round. So man, I wish I'd stayed for that. That's so cool. How far did you throw in from? Brent says, I was working HVAC, so I had no time. HVAC employees in the summer are doing the Lord's work. Yeah, yeah. Dude says, concussion. What happened? Brent bashed his head on a tree 5 holes in, and then said, I felt dizzy. I almost threw up, and my head hurt, and I played the rest of the round. Anyway, dummy. Candlelight says, when is your next tournament? I have a little tournament this weekend. It's just a really tiny one round event at a course called Lake Courier. I've never played before, so I'm going to play it on Thursday and then play again. And so that's just a tiny little thing local to Charlotte. So that's going to be a fun little easy tournament. Not easy to necessarily win, but not 280 players. There's probably going to be less than 10 players. But one of them is Brent, so we'll see if he plays concussion golf or good golf. With Brent, you never know. That one's coming up soon, and then I just have a couple of weekend tournaments sprinkled throughout the next couple of months with a couple of bigger ones. I'm going to be playing in Florida, planning to play the Chain Hawk Open in Florida, first week of December. Very excited for that. That's coming up. I'll be able to see some friends and family down there, so that's going to be really cool. Doc says, being old is okay. We have outlived so many of our enemies. Brent says, I had a tree branch hit me in the face. Okay. Probably should have dropped out. Dizzy and nauseous. Yeah. Candlelight says, congrats on 15th place. Thank you very much. It was a crazy week, and I'm so blessed to have been able to near the top of the amateur division at Amatuer Worlds. I never thought that I would be on lead card. I never thought that I'd be on chase card twice. Was I on chase card twice? I never thought that I would be on chase card and lead card. Like, just crazy. So it was such a blessing. It was very cool. Thank you. I really appreciate it. My sister-in-law made me disc golf cookies, and they were so cool. Like frosting with disc golf baskets and PDGA and World Championship. Very cool. Doc says, Brent doesn't know the meaning of the word dropout. He also doesn't know the meaning of the word healthy and don't injure yourself. Brent has 2 disc golf injuries in the last 4 months. Fugit says, anyone play Disc Golf Valley? Got 1,864th place in their worlds. There you go. That's really cool. I've played Disc Golf Valley, but I'll confess, when it was new, I played it a fair amount with friends, got decent at some of the courses and earned those coins or whatever, stars. And then I stopped. But it's fun. It's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Justin number 2 says, what's up, Brad? Justin, thanks for hopping back on and joining us. Feeling good. Happy. I won my match play today, 15th at Worlds, which is awesome. I got I got a couple Zone SS's. Got a nice players pack. What is this? A Wizard, Gorgon, Mutant. I'm just running through all my discs again. Loop, Swan 2, which I don't even remember what that is. Claymore, which I think this is my favorite coloration and disc combo because I like the Claymore. I believe that's a Scorch. Treason. And then because I won my card round 1, I got the prototype Gateway Driver here. That someone has said is like an 11-4 -2-1. Vaughn threw in from 14 feet. How in the world did he get to the circle in 2? The man went for the green? That's an 800+ foot hole. Okay. That's insane. I wish that I had been able to play Harmony Bends with Vaughn because I enjoyed playing, of course, but we played the dam twice, and I wasn't having great rounds, and I saw plenty of his great shots and putts, but I would have loved seeing some disc golf at Harmony Bends. And Vaughn went 11 down. He was one of the another shout out, Vaughn tying for the hot round with me and Micah at 11 down at Harmony Bends round 1. But we did not play on the same card, unfortunately. Hey, Justin 1.0 is here. Thanks for hopping on, Justin. Yeah, that's crazy. Brent says, did you play Lake Courier, whatever? Yet I will be playing Thursday. I'll play Thursday, get some practice in, get it figured out. Uh, Doc says, me makes Brad some second place soup. Hey, as long as I shoot like 1,000 rated round or 990, like I really don't care if I don't win. I just want to have a couple of good rated rounds. Worlds was fantastic for my rating. I only had one round below my rating at the dam. The other round at the dam was just above my rating. And then I had 2,000 rated rounds, one of them 1,036, which is mind blowing. Then 984. So very solid week of ratings for me for Am Worlds. That will help me for the next 12 months to keep my rating up. Fuga says, yeah, not very good either. Justin 2.0 says, I might have jinxed Brad, but did you get Taco Bell after? I did get Taco Bell after. I got 2 stops at Taco Bell on my drive to Missouri, and then on my drive back, I got Taco Bell on the way back. It was awesome. Unfortunately, cold Cinnabon delights. Dude just says, also, does anyone have any tips for focusing on my shot with others watching? I just can't seem to pure shot with people watching. And how does the Zone SS fly? I have not thrown it yet, but I will. And excited to see how they fly. As far as focusing when people are watching, it's all about what mentally works for you. People have suggested all sorts of tricks for handling, like giving speeches in front of crowds. For me, it kind of seems like it helps to acknowledge that there are people watching. Like, I want to be like, I don't want to pretend like no one's watching me. I want to be like, people are watching, but so what? And I know it's not that easy, but mentally I'm trying to say, people are watching, so what? There's one thing. There's not 5 people thinking about me. There's one thing, and that is someone's watching. Like there's a view of me that's happening. Kind of reduce it to a small thing and say, I'm being observed. So what? It's happening. Now move on. Just kind of set it to the side mentally. Just say, acknowledge it, say it's happening, put it to the side, and say, that's not my focus. My focus is the throw. Take a breath, and then do your best. And I think over time, you begin to notice that you don't fail very often. And as long as you're always setting it aside, focusing up, and doing your best, I think you'll start to gain confidence from not failing. And then eventually, it won't really affect you. It's kind of a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like, just expect yourself not to just throw a perfect shot, but like expect yourself to not fail, to execute, and do what you know you can do. And it's going to start coming true. And then you're going to build confidence from that, and it will stop being a problem. That's my advice. I know that's kind of a complicated mental gymnastics thing, but it really works for me. And when I was a youth pastor teaching or preaching on Sunday morning or giving the announcements, it's the same kind of situation where I don't think of 100 different people looking at me and thinking about me and analyzing or criticizing me in their heads. I just acknowledge there's a crowd. A crowd is here and they're observing me, but I am doing this. I am saying this. I'm communicating this. I'm making a joke. Like, then I think you start to get used to the idea of you're not going to make a fool of yourself. You're going to be just fine. You're going to be okay. And then you get confident in it and you're like, I can do this. Like, it's good. Anyway, I really don't know if that helps. Swan 2 is a West Side putter. Justin number 2.0 says, Brad, you want to trade? Maybe. Depends on what you want to trade. You have to send me a message. I will not be trading either of the Zone SS's because bag shelf. That's going to happen. Some of the others, I don't know. I think the Gorgon's going to be a giveaway disc. I'd like to try out the loop in the Swan. I like the color of the Claymore. I probably want to shelve the Scorch. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say that. I think I'm going to try to keep all of them, probably, unfortunately. Yeah, earbuds can help music. Play with more people is a suggestion. You get comfortable with it. Yeah, I think I like that. That's good. That's good. Doc says 3-3 -1-0. Ooh, I kind of like that. I need to catch up. Dude just says it's not necessarily everyone. Like people I know, it doesn't have that effect. They say playing with card mates or passing. That playing with card mates or passing group has. Yeah. More experience, but pretend like it's no big deal. Pretend like you're totally confident. And once you actually throw some confident shots, you'll build off of that, and it'll be a fake it till you make it loop of success. There's a Prodigy FX3 prototype 95 -12. Sounds like a dynasty. SM says awesome shooting, dude. Thank you very much. It was a really cool week. It was a cool week. I'm very happy. Brent says have fun. Good night for the night, or gotta go for the night. Good night, Brent. GoCav says everyone loves some Taco Bell. Amen. Especially me. I love me some Taco Bell. I went to Taco Bell with a Taco Bell shirt on. It was a success. It was very good. Doc says, Dujit, when I'm worried about a crowd, I imagine myself naked. Seldom helps and usually makes things worse. But try it. Who knows? There's definitely some influence of like shame or like awkwardness that you're throwing into your own head to help yourself relax. I don't. It never worked for me. But I'm a weird, unique, odd person. Steven says, hello, hello. Thanks for hopping on, Steven. And thanks for the snack money. Got myself a Reese's Fast Break on the way to Missouri and on the way back. So that was really good. King size, by the way. So none of those little dinkers, like full on king size Fast Break. Congrats on the great job again this weekend. Thank you, Steven. It was a good week. It was a good week. Fuga says, the more confident I was in my game, the less I cared about tournament situations. Took a while before I had the pre-round jitters. Before you had them or got rid of them? Oh, had them sorted out. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it just depends on the individual. I think there's an element to my personality where I don't necessarily have the full confidence, but I kind of have the ability to set things aside as long as I've addressed it, as long as I've acknowledged it. It's like when I'm putting, sounds or like movement can really be distracting for me. But if I like hear the sound and be like, okay, there's a horn honking in the background, whatever. Oh, look, there's a flag fluttering in the distance, whatever. Once I acknowledge it, I can tune it out on purpose. I'm like, like I'm blurring these things mentally, and that lets me go focus, do my best to make the putt. Something that works for my brain may or may not work for other brains. I have no idea, but it works for public speaking situations. It works for, well, even like right now, I'm not thinking about, it says 19 watching. I'm not thinking about 19 different individual human beings looking at their phones and analyzing, everything about me, which is kind of disconcerting to think about. I'm thinking about communicating individually to a question that someone asks. I'm talking to you, and I know I'm talking broadly to an audience, but I'm not letting that kind of thought process overwhelm me. I'm focused on the task at hand, which is responding to a comment. This is getting kind of meta. This is weird. Anyway, Fugit has figured that out. The more confident you are in your game, you build that practice. It's going to feel easier to execute in a tournament situation in front of other people. I think that's true. And that helped me a lot with putting. Vaughn says, I can send you a video of me going in for Eagle in the playoff. Yes, please. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. And then if you give me permission, I can make it an Eagle of the Month or something on YouTube. If you want. Dude just says, thanks for the advice. I mean, you can post in the Discord, Vaughn. That's true. You can join the Discord. That's valid. Speaking of the Discord, let me get the link again and post it in chat. Oh, I already have it up. Oh, I'm such a legend. Mostly because I just never closed it last time. Okay, I'm going to zip through a few. Gorgon's probably too flippy for you. I think a high throw with the Gorgon will have some nice turn, but I have a Gorgon to try out already from a different tournament, so I don't think I need this Gorgon for myself. I'd love to give it away. It would be a perfect giveaway disc. Steven says, okay, I'm like, how do you like the Zone SS thoughts? Haven't thrown it yet. Worlds wrapped up. Traveled home. Did my match play today. Haven't had any chance to throw extra discs, but tomorrow is a perfect day. I'm actually going to go ahead and just toss it by the door and get that throw in tomorrow. Get some throws in. It's going to be fun. How many new discs have you gotten recently? This was from the tournament. These were for free. Well, I paid to play, but these are my tournament discs that I got. So good question, Rachel. Thank you for that question. But yes, I snagged this guy, which is kind of just goofy, and then a couple other cool ones. This is really cool. I love this World's crest kind of stamp. I like this one. The colors suit me pretty well, and the nice little bit of purple. And then the other one that kind of sticks out is this like Medusa stamped Gorgon. Pretty cool. Reminds me of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. And then of course the Zone SS. Just very cool plastic. That one I paid for. A little bit of cash for that one. Haven't tried it yet. Yes. Any good logo entries yet? No, I absolutely am looking forward to getting a nice Birdietime logo. So please, if you want to design one, I would be thrilled. Anyone who wants to design one, particularly if you have talent, that helps. So I've heard. I don't have talent. Would be fantastic. So yes. Dude, did you make a Discord channel for logos? That would be great if you did. I would love to see some logo ideas. I really would. Also, that reminds me I need to email someone back about an opportunity that I would use the logo for. So thank you twice for reminding me of good things. I need to do that. Okay. I am so far behind. All right, haven't thrown it. Hope you enjoyed your snacks. I did. Shoes are awesome. Sure, they are. Good and fun. Are you Taco Bell then disc golfed out? Absolutely not. I disc golf today. I'm going tomorrow, and I'm going Thursday, and I'm playing in a tournament Saturday. Atticus Cohen, are you playing Power DGA this weekend? I did not hear about it. Unfortunately, I signed up already for a tournament at Lake Corriher around the Charlotte area, and I should look that up. Okay, I'm getting notifications on my phone, so I'm going to actually turn that to Do Not Disturb real quick. Do not disturb. Okay. That's on me. I usually put it on Do Not Disturb. Totally forgot. So thank you, Atticus, for the suggestion. I will look that tournament up and see if it is something I might do. Do Taco Bell 3 to 7 times a week? I could, but I don't. I usually don't even have Taco Bell very often unless I'm traveling. Traveling, Taco Bell. Not traveling, rare. Very rare. Maybe celebrating tournaments, but otherwise. But I could. Justin says, I don't think I've said it yet. Congrats. Thank you so much. It was a really good tournament. It was a good tournament. Justin 2.0 says, me and Brad would be best buddies. Yes, we would. We'd be splitting the Cinnabon Delights and just chowing down on Taco Bell. Heck yeah. Playing Cards says, congrats, do you have any goals you're trying to achieve as an amateur before going pro? Or why haven't you already tried going pro? Great questions. A couple of answers there. When I won an MA1 A tier in December, the Chainhawk Open. You can't really see that. So I won this last year. It was my home courses. It was a very meaningful tournament for me. My sister filmed it. It's on my YouTube channel. It was all really, really cool. And at the time I said, okay, I'm pretty much done with amateur stuff except Amatuer Worlds. I'm pretty much going to go pro. So the next week I played a local MPO tournament and won. So I was like, okay, I should go pro. Then I played in the Charlotte Roar Open. MPO made lead card. And I was like, okay, I played with Paul Uleberry. I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. And then I had 7 months of bad disc golf. And that leads me to August, where I finally feel like I've gotten my game back. But all of that to say, I have played MA1 in Charlotte locally. I think the disc golf competition level is pretty high, and I don't feel like I've been sandbagging. I don't just win everything. But I am planning to do doubles, amateur doubles, and then a couple of point series with Chain Reactions. Shout out Chain Reactions. And that's pretty much it. Otherwise, big tournaments, I'm playing MPO and turning down cash. And then after amateur doubles, I'm going MPO. I'm going back to Florida for the Chainhawk Open this December. I'm playing an MPO, and it's my goal to play with either Garrett Gerthy or let's see who usually shows up. God, what's his name? This is embarrassing. AJ Carey, who usually plays in the Chainhawk Open, or one of the other kind of pros who may or may not pop in and play. So those are goals for me. Um, so yes, the long story short is after amateur doubles, I'll be switching to MPO, and once I have the chance to, I will accept cash and I won't go back to amateur. So I never expected to play so high at Amatuer Worlds, and especially now that I have, it's a full confirmation. I'm not sticking it out till next year to try to win. No, no, no. Time to play in the MPO division, but I am not good enough for the Pro Tour. I've never said that I am, so I'm not like pretending like I am. But yes, I will be stepping into MPO in the fall. Vaughn says, yes, you're welcome to use it. Yes, that's going to be a really cool video. I Drink Water says hi. Hi, and thank you for drinking water. It's good for you. Now that I said all of that, dude just says, because he's sandbagging, he's supposed to be on tour, but he's focusing on YouTube. Doc says 3 cold Cinnabons, says he forgets it all. Forgets it, lol. That's a lot of discs. Yes, snagged a lot in the player's pack. It was pretty nice. Using cold Cinnabons as a unit of measurement now. Daniel Lar says, what do you think about Owen Scoggins winning Worlds? Personally, so happy for her. Always been my favorite in FPO. She has one of the best attitudes in FPO, and I think it was just amazing that she won. I'm proud of her. She's won multiple Masters Worlds, like 5 Masters Worlds before winning Worlds, and it's insane that that's the order that you do it in. Because normally you might win Worlds and then you hit 40 and you're like, boom, 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 now I can win. She went the opposite. Really, really cool. She's always been a solid player and a great putter. I had her sign one of my Wardens. I know she's not dynamic. She's Innova, but she's just the most friendly person. I saw her at the chess.com Open in Florida, and I chatted with her for a minute, and she was like, make sure you come say hi. I told her I was going to be at USDGC, and she's like, make sure you come say hi. And I did, and I was like, she's so nice. Like, she's so great. So very happy for her. Playing Card says, dude, that's what I'm saying. Oh, well. Would have been cooler if Ida had won it, to be honest. Ida will probably win in the next 3 years. Like, she'll be fine. Owen rocks, yes. Rachel Owen says, those are awesome. The Medusa definitely gives Percy Jackson and the Olympians vibes. Absolutely it does. It was pretty cool. I picked it up and I was like, ooh, I like this. And it's definitely a disc that I plan to give away, so be on the lookout for that. Post-Am Worlds disc giveaway. Gotta film so much. I have a lot of editing to do. So much. Dude just says, making a logo channel now. You can also make channels whenever you want. Yeah, if I wasn't busy traveling across the world. No, I appreciate Dujit making the Discord, shout out, and managing the channels and doing an excellent job. And then he gave me permission to do a bunch of like managing as well. And I've done nothing. I've done nothing. It's all Dujit. Steven says, I'm coming down October 3rd, FYI. Sweet, October 3rd. There's probably some sort of chain reactions event around there. Doc says, Steven, I hope you win. Steven says, at what? Power DGA was invite-based, right next to Am Worlds courses. Gotcha. Okay, so no, I'm not still in Missouri. I traveled back to Charlotte. Thank you for that info. Appreciate it. I know the Power DGA had qualifiers locally, so that's what I was thinking about, was the qualifiers. And I didn't end up doing any of them. So I thought they were still running, but it makes sense that they're doing the full event. So am not qualified for it. Didn't get into that. Doc says, Steven, I thought you were coming down to challenge Brad at disc golf. We might be able to play something, maybe wing it together or something. Atticus says, which one of the Am Worlds courses did you like the most? Might play one of them Sunday. I loved Harmony Bends. And Nicholas Phillips says, how did you enjoy Harmony Bends? I think Harmony Bends was the most fair course from the layout that I played, which was the middle tee on everything except for hole 1. I thought it was very fair. It was a perfect layout for Am Worlds because it wasn't Pro Tour level, but it was not for 920 rated players. It was for players who are good. Let me rephrase that because I want to emphasize that what I mean by players who are good is I don't just mean 920 players aren't good. I think you are. I mean, it takes higher level amateur capabilities to play well. And I think that was what Am World needs. I think Am Worlds needs to play at that level to be taken seriously and to be competitive at the top. So I think they did a great job with that. And I think Harmony is just the best. So the Dam I liked but didn't love, and I never played well there. Miller I thought had great, like 12 great holes, and 6, you got to get lucky. You got to just chuck it in and hope you miss enough trees. So I think Harmony was the best of the 3, and I highly recommend it. It's a great experience. Um, Enjoy it. It's a really good course. And I enjoyed it, and I played well there round 1, so I really enjoyed it. I think playing AMs is smart. Show sponsors you worked your way up. Though being 30 is kind of old for disc golf pros. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But that's why I have the YouTube, so I can have 2 things. I can say, I'm pretty decent, and I have a YouTube. And they can be like, okay. Instead of being like, oh, you're really good. No, I'm not. Oh, you have a massive YouTube. No, not really. A little bit of both. A little bit of balance. Dude just says, I swear I would have won my local tournament if it hadn't been canceled and would have been there, Atticus. That is a bummer, dude. I'm sure that Dude would have qualified through the Power DGA qualifier, and that would be very cool. Justin says she should be your full-time videographer. Yes, she should. It would be amazing if I could pay, but I can't. I can't. Although I probably can for the Chainhawk Open if I'm not on coverage. I think Disc Golf Guy does that. Maybe Gatekeeper for the women. Eventually be a 40 plus, 50 plus pro. Thanks, Dujit. Rachel says, wouldn't be opposed to being a full-time videographer. If there's money in it, which there's not, I need a videographer, and I really need somebody to make thumbnails for me because mine are terrible. MP40, yep. Anders says, what disc do you recommend I throw for forehand, 270 feet? If you're throwing forehands 270, I would recommend a mildly stable mid, like a Buzz or even a Buzz OS, depending on your flight path and how your angle comes out. You might just pure and echo really smooth. You might like the tempo, like the Germ does. If you want to go driver, I'd suggest Firebird of some sort for a nice stability, maybe like an FD1 or a T-Bird for kind of straighter shots. You want turnovers, throw a nice little Brave. I recommend staying about 7 speed and below for the most part, but you can kind of move up to maybe stable 9 speeds would be good, like a Raptor. But just whatever fits your style, because I don't know if you have more of a chop forehand, or if you have, like me, you throw with wobble, so it goes and then it turns over really fast, and then it bites out of it. That's what I do. So it just kind of depends on what your cup of tea is. Shoot or a dragon? Okay. Justin says that Rachel would be very good as a full-time videographer, and I believe that she would. And she says, I think you'd be solid as well. Playing card, you're way behind on the questions. Thanks for the detailed answer. Wishing you nothing but the best. Can't wait to see you on tour one day. Tour is probably out of reach, but I love to play some tour events. So I don't think I'll ever be full-time touring, but playing tour events is a goal. How far can you throw forehand? My farthest was 415 feet with an Insanity, but it hurt, and I don't throw like that anymore. I usually don't break much over 300. Usually a little bit less. Justin says, not really interested. For myself. Steven says, I forgot her name, but the one FPO player I think will really make some noise is a lady Robbie C. held the bag for. She's awesome. Who's that? Who did he hold the bag for? It wasn't Cadence, was it? Because Cadence is really good. Fuyet says, do the man a solid, hit that like button. Legend. That's the thing I never say. I never say, hit the like button, hit that bell. I don't say any of that stuff. I don't do that. But I will read the chat, so thank you. Holland Handley, was that her? Very down for playing with her against Brad. That would be awesome. Yes, it would. Cadence Birds. Hey, that's what I said. I said Cadence. Hey, Cadence. Okay. I did not read ahead. I'm good. I'm just that good. Harmony is not for 920 players. Rip me. Thanks for that. Thanks for the chat. Yes, I phrased that poorly. What I meant is it will be a challenge, but it's a good challenge. It's a good hard course challenge. And it's not easy enough that a bunch of lower 900 rated players would be playing within a stroke or two of the players who end up, at the top. Scoring separation. That's the main thing that I meant. You will love it. It is a good course. Dude, you got canceled. That's tough. You gotta be careful what you say. Apparently, dude, I can remember the flight numbers of 80% of discs, but not the hair color of anyone I've met or myself, including. That's good. That's good. That's good. That is funny. I'm so behind. I'm so behind on chat. Rich says, I got you. Okay, yes. Hopefully that's for filming in December. Yes, that'd be great. If you find yourself in Southern California, check out La Miranda and Oak Grove in Pasadena. I've heard Pasadena has good disc golf. Jiki says, what's up, GOAT? Thanks, Jiki. Sending me some encouraging texts during the tournament. Like, oh, I didn't know you were that good. Doc says, Fuji isn't the oldest disc golf course in California. I think it is. Skipping a few. Adrian says, hi. Thanks for hopping on, Adrian. What's up? Adrian says, what's up, Brad? Thanks for checking in, man. I'm feeling good. I'm pretty happy. Having a great week. Worlds went well. Had some good pizza today. Which tour events? Good question. Unfortunately, D-Glow would be the easiest to make happen because I have family in Michigan, and it would be the course I would play the worst. I'm not picking anything specific. I was hoping for something like USDGC since it's in the Charlotte-ish area, and now I'm unsure of it. I'd love to play Olympus. I've played the FBO layout there. It would be hard, but I would love to play. I have family and friends in Florida, so that would work decently well. That'd be very cool. And then something Tennessee, Texas-ish, something not super far away would be really awesome. Okay. Fujit, through a forehand 500 feet, downhill. That's pretty awesome. It was a steep hill. You should get a like sub icon to put in your video so people will be reminded. With the amount of video uploads, I feel like you could increase your subs by 50%. Can you do that on YouTube Shorts? Because if it's just for full videos, I don't know. Oh, I can make you one? Oh, well, if you're offering to do the work for me, the answer is yes. If someone says I'll make a Discord for you, the answer is yes. If someone says I'll make a thumbs up button for you, the answer is yes. Thank you very much. Doc says, dude, too bad disc golf answer man is gone. Was a guy, Robert, who, goodness, this is convoluted, who could just, you name a disc and he could give you the different company examples of it. Don't care if it's a cliff and a roller. 500-foot forehand is nuts, Stephen says. Jiki says, call me out like that. Well, you did say it, so you called yourself out. Amazed me. Oh, the way you were talking, it sounded like you didn't know you were that good. All right, that's fair. Jiki is like, being encouraging and being like, wow, like, can't believe you're actually at the top. And I'm like, I can't either. I never thought, ever, never. If you had said to me, Brad, you will be tied for hot round 1 at Amatuer Worlds, I would have said, funny. I will hopefully be in the top 30. I would not have believed you. It was really cool. MVP Open, I would love to play Maple Hill. I'd love to play Maple Hill. Dude, trained myself to name every country, territory in the world in under 5 minutes, so memorizing disc flight numbers and recommending them sounds like something I would do. I was never the best at states and countries and everything, states and capitals and countries, but I understand that, like, capturing some of those memories. I have a little bit of that personality. Jiki's out. See ya. Catch you soon. We'll get around in, tomorrow. Wednesday. That day. We'll get around in tomorrow. Doc says, cool. I'll usually just make stuff up. That sounds about right. Dude, forgot all of it within a month. You'd be really good for final exams, but not for retaining info for the long term. GK says, yeah, it's my fault for thinking you're the GOAT. All right, you got me. That's fair. That's fair. Fugit says, is it Fugit or Fugit with a J, like a J? Anyway. First tournament I won was at a course in Wrightwood, California. Ski Sunrise on the side of a mountain. It's a sweet course. Ooh. I played a course in Tennessee on my way back, Winged Deer, and it was hilly. It was like this hole is a little up, this hole's a little downhill, this hole's a little uphill, this hole's a little downhill, this hole's a little up, and it was very like it was quite a hike. It was a fun course. Dude, you never caught Warner Brothers doing all the countries of the world, did you? Can't stand using songs to memorize things. Thank you. The cartoon songs are annoying, and yes, they can get stuck in your head, but they're obnoxious. I don't like them either. Yes, they can be very painful. Very painful. And aren't you all proud of me? I finally caught up to chat. It took a long time. It took like 40 minutes. But I did it, and I'm proud of myself. Very proud of myself. First tournament, Steven says, first tournament I win will hopefully be in the Long Island Open in 3 weeks. Hopefully. Heck yeah, dude, you're going to do great. You're going to kill it out there, land those putts, throw the soul, and you can't help but win. I hope that goes well. No painful, you guys don't like it, I meant. Not painful? No, it's painful. It's painful. Adrian says, top 15 out of the whole event is awesome. You put in the work out there and hope you keep it up. Would love to see you get picked up by a sponsor. Hopefully you checked out other courses while in Missouri. I didn't have time to do other courses. I just did the 3 we competed in, and then Albert Oakland, the ones that women played that we didn't play, of the 4 Worlds courses. So I did play those 4. Didn't get to tour or travel the rest of the state, unfortunately. I was very much competition focused, and then immediately after, I was like, I'm gonna goof around and play around, and then go home. So back home, happy to be back in Charlotte, but the Missouri trip was awesome. It was awesome, and thank you. It was it really felt like not only just a huge blessing, like it really felt like God gave me the chance to play at my best, and I felt really encouraged the entire week. I had moments of just feeling like garbage, like I threw that triple bogey at the dam on coverage, which all of you, I don't know if it's out yet. Somebody check if Gatekeepers dropped that coverage. You'll be able to see my failures in YouTube Glory. Well, I guess you already see that. But on Gatekeeper Media, you're going to see me chuck it out of bounds twice on the same hole, take a triple bogey. Ugh. That really hurt, but it's okay. And I bounced back and really felt like I had a good attitude for almost the entire tournament. Even when things went wrong, I really felt like that was a huge blessing. So it was a really cool experience, something I'm very grateful for and I'll never forget. And all of you guys leaving comments, and any of you who have my phone number, texting me and encouraging me, thank you. It meant a lot. It really meant a lot. Fugit says, got hailed on mid-tournament once. Not fun. Huh. Dude says, got to get back on disc golf scene soon. Yes, you do. Rachel says, good work. Thank you. Thank you. Doc says, so we are not going to do a group watch of K-pop Demon Hunters, I guess. I don't know where that came from, but no, I guess. Toxic Avenger the musical? No. Steven says Gatekeeper dropped round 1. Trust me, I looked. Okay, so probably the next day, Gatekeeper's dropping round 2. You guys can enjoy. You can enjoy Vaughn play well. Duja says, I will be glazing you in the comments again, Brad. Thank you, Duja, and thank you for doing that on the GMT Greatest Media Team Charlotte Roar Open. You guys are the best. And the Greatest Media Team, like, knew me because they filmed me. But because of you guys leaving comments and more of those interactions, like they see me. They know my stuff. So that's partly thanks to you guys. Because if I had no audience, they really wouldn't give a care about me. Yeah. Steven says you bouncing back was impressive in round 2. Thank you. It felt like a victory to fight against the course and kind of that quick little nosedive and just flatten out and slowly bring it back up to under par on the last hole. Not to spoil it, but you guys can see my scores. Fugit, Dujit, Brad's got a problem on his hands. little bit. Fujit, Dujit. Shot a 12 on a par 3 once, and then aced it next round. Never know what's going to happen. I did get my revenge, almost perfect revenge, on that triple bogey because 2 rounds later went back to the dam, hole 2, threw a good shot off the tee, put it to 25 feet from the circle, dinked it off the band from the uphill putt, just put a little too hard, took the par. Way better than triple bogey. But the birdie would have been so satisfying to go triple bogey, birdie. Like, you know what? I can get this hole. Unfortunately, just the par. Still, revenge. Yeah. Fujit shot a 12 on a par 3 once, then aced. I have done a somewhat similar opposite. I played a par 4 and got a really nice birdie, and then birdied it in like this triples event. We got the birdie, and then I played in the tournament and re-teed 3 times because I couldn't get it in bounds and took an 8. Doc says, "Do to drop a link in the Discord so we can all go chat up right in comments." Yes, drop a link. Only Brad can do that. Filters out of spam. You're saying, Doc, you're saying in Discord, or you're saying the Discord link. Can you clarify that? In Discord. Oh, okay. You guys already got that. Adrian says, "Heard you mention the Soul. Just put one in the bag today, and it's nice. Soul is really nice. I think the longest lasting disc in my bag is the Soul, and second longest is the Dynasty. I've had a Zone in the bag for a long time, but not the same disc. Like, I've switched zones and lost zones, unfortunately. But yeah, Soul in the bag for a long time. Soul is good." Steven says, "Shooting a 12 is not beyond me. I've 8-putted a few times on windy days when I was too stubborn to lay up." It can happen. It can happen. Doc says, "Steven, if you like lightweight discs, the wind can stink." And Steven says, "Nope, 173 gram Rainmakers." Dude says, "Only round 1 is out right now. When round 2 comes out, I'll send it." Thank you, Dujit. Really appreciate that. Caleb Sneed, let's freaking go. Congrats, bro. Yeah, I can't read. Let's freaking go. Congrats, brother. Thank you. And thank you for leaving a comment. I will email you back. Thank you for emailing me. I literally read the email at like 3 separate times on 3 separate days and have been like, gotta reply. But I've been traveling and it's just been busy. And then I was unpacking partially. And then I had my match play today and now the stream. So all over the place, but I got it. We'll get this. We're good. And thank you. Steven says, "Generally think my putting is pretty good." Yeah, it can happen. You can be good at something and then all of a sudden disaster can strike. Or, it can just be a little, like, pretty consistent, but every once in a while. Dude just says, "My Soul is way more stable than your guys'. It's like a 5401. Kind of crazy." Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're just weak. It's not the case. Dude throws further than me. But yeah, it might be the plastic. Is it ESP? It's probably not the Big Z plastic. Is that flips nice, real nice. Fujit says, "The ace was special. My pops was there to see it." Oh, that's special. I have not aced with my dad, but I have hit some really long putts and a couple of throw-ins that he's been there to watch, and that was really special too. He was very happy for me. And he's caddied for me, so that was really cool as well. That was awesome, although I played bad. Caleb Sneed says, "No worries, brother. You're a busy man. Appreciate the understanding. Got to keep an eye out for your team." Oh, football? You're talking soccer? American, not American football. European football. First game is September 4th. Ping everyone. Oh, you're saying not Duja's team where he's goalie. You're saying for the fantasy league. Gotcha. First game is September 4th. Okay. Cool. Steven, gotta go. Good night, Brad, and everyone. Congrats one more time. Thank you, and good night. Sleep well. Have good... Excuse me. Gotta get rid of that hiccup. Okay. Hiccup's gone. Good night, sleep well, and thanks for chatting and jumping in for a few minutes, Steven, and for the Reese's Fast Breaks money. It is Big Z, believe it or not. Really? Well, Digit, I don't know what you're doing wrong, but that thing should be a roller for you. soccer rude? I mean, soccer is the more popular sport worldwide, way more popular than football, where you carry it with your hands all the time. Makes no sense. Dude just says it was the sun-colored dyed disc in the bag check. Ooh, I'll have to double look at that. I was in my match play, so I glanced, but I didn't look at all of your discs specifically, so I'll have to double check that. Send side profile pics to show the stability. Yes, I'd love to see that. Adrian wanted to ask, what's your most trusted disc for driver, fairway, mid putter right now? Trusted is a good way to say it. So I would say most used and most trusted are a little bit different. I'll answer trusted. So most trusted basically means most stable, because the most stable is what you know it's going to do what you think it's going to do. So my most trusted is the Rive, the Cap Wrap, the Taco, and the Zone. As far as most like utilized or my go-to for a lot of shot shapes, I would say it would be Wild Honey or Enigma, depending on the hole, but probably Wild Honey a little bit more, because usually I feel like getting more distance is more helpful. But a lot of shots I want to get only 330, 340, 320, 350 feet and not go potentially 400 with the honey. So that's, anyways, that just depends. Fairway, it's going to be the Brave, but sometimes the FD1. For mid ranges, it's going to be the Echo, but sometimes the Soul. And for putters, I do like to throw my Warden, sometimes the Keystone, and then a Zone, of course, if you count it as a putter. Caleb Sneed says, my 2 rounds this weekend, I used your putting style, but with straddle stance, so I guess it wasn't exactly your style. Hit 7 bands and 4 birdies on the first round and 7 birdies the second round. Huh, look at that. It's a good putting style, I guess. That works. I do practice straddle putting with that putting style maybe 10% of the time, because I do find in Charlotte I'm straddling often to get around things. And I don't know, I probably hit 4 or 5 straddle putts in my Am Worlds event. So it's very like common that I find myself switching to the straddle. So I don't hate the straddle. It can be the way that you miss. You can put a little high and you can put a little low instead of left and right, which I think is advantageous, because when you miss, dink, fall, you tap it in instead of cruising by. That's me personally. That's what works for me for my putting percentages. But I'm glad that it was a fun experience and it worked. It worked well. All right, Dude says, gotta go. School tomorrow. See you all later. Have a good week. Yes, thank you for hanging out for a while. And I've probably got 20 minutes left in me just for everyone's sake and sanity. Dawson says, who is your favorite person to play with last week? Ooh, great question. Now I have to think through all of the people that I played with. I really enjoyed playing with RJ, round 1, who took 2nd place. He just seems like such a genuine guy. Just really, he's so talented, but he doesn't act like it. Just seems like a humble guy. He and his caddy were just a lot of fun to chat a little bit with, and he was someone that I wanted to root for coming down the stretch of the last round. So that was a really great experience. And I got to chat with him before a couple of rounds, and we're telling each other to, like, we want to do well, but we want to have fun. And that was something that he was really, really happy about, like trying to have fun. And I think that really worked for him for a couple of his rounds, which is really cool. It just, yeah, that was inspiring. And then round 2, I played with Vaughn and Micah. And I would say that Vaughn was the most enjoyable card mate at that time for me. Just seems like a humble, young, very talented guy with even a ton more potential, and he took 4th place. He has more potential than I have, with an excellent putt. And as soon as you have fewer comebackers to hit, like, score is just going to be like 8 shots better instantly for like a 5-round event. You're just immediately going to just jump up the scoreboard, the leaderboard. Really impressive stuff. And great distance, great consistency, forehand, backhand, just, yeah, good stuff. And his caddy, Dawson, oh, interesting. Who asked this question? Was really cool to meet as well and hang out with a little bit. So that was really fun. Um, those would probably be top two. I did play with Zeb Kaler, which he's kind of a Charlotte area player, constantly playing. I've competed against him a handful of times, but never on his card. And we were able to play at Joseph Miller, and that was very cool. And I cleared him by a couple of strokes, but he clearly had an off day. It wasn't like I was just like playing better than him. I was playing well, and he was playing bad, and I still was only a few shots ahead. Very good putter as well. Um, Very cool to play with him. And James Collier was very talented and impressive to play with, and very kind person as well. So there you go. I threw out four names, but you'll have to guess at who was my favorite to play with. Secret. All right, Doc needs to get to bed himself. Good night. Good night. Caleb Sneed says, lots of trees where I play. Straddle is a must. There you go. Yes, straddle is very, very good. Very useful for a lot of obstructions and stance. And I find uphill, because uphill, my putting style, my knee kind of gets in the way. I like how I putt, but when I'm trying to oof it up a hill, I kind of hit my knee. So straddle putting generates that power easier for me. So plus, when I'm outside the circle, I'd straddle step putt. So I can totally see that working as a stance just in general for generating that power. And of course, when you have obstacles, it's great. Adrian says, I've been throwing a Strive. I feel like it's the people's straight to overstable distance driver. I just put a new Essence in the bag. It's goated. Love the zone, but been using the Harp recently. I actually started with a Harp, and I liked it, but I just liked it. Didn't love it. Anyway, it's very useful. Let's see. Strive. I got the flippy version, so I think there's swirly and then just Royal Grand Plastic. I have the flippy version. Yeah. And so mine just is not a -1.3. It's like a -2.1. It just turns over, drifts. It's good, but not a disc that ended up in the bag for me, even though I like flippy stuff. Maybe one day I'll try it out again and see if I can get a good holding turn for a long distance shot, something that my yellow Enigma kind of fights out of. But all that to say, mine's not very stable, but I can see how it will play well for a lot of people where it doesn't have the kind of flippier flight path. Could really be useful. Well, useful. They're both useful, but reliable, more overstable, but good glide for it, good distance. Fujit says, I've come across courses I was happy I practiced turbo putting, and that is called Florida. Obviously, Johnny McRae popularized the turbo putt for a lot of reasons. He's amazing at it. But also in Florida, you've got palmettos all over the place. So you got to get yourself over the palmettos. You turbo putt, you solve that problem. I've turbo putted in tournament once or twice. Shout out Johnny McRae for teaching me to turbo putt. He's a legend. He gave me a lesson in general, and then at the end he's like, you want to learn how to turbo putt? And I was like, yes, I do. Thank you very much. Caleb Sneed says, I was -1 going into 18, hole 18, 350-foot par 3. Disked up to get there, proceeded to pump it 450. Longest drive I've ever thrown, finished even. That is really funny and tragic, but that's really hilarious. He's like, I gotta get it all the way 100 feet past. I had that experience dissimilar, but I threw at a basket that was probably like 210, but a little downhill. And I was like, all right, gotta throw this Warden and just kind of give it that height and let it, get there. And I threw it 120 feet past, down the hill behind it, and it just parked the long pin, but I was not aiming for it. And at first, out of my hand, I was like, ace run? And I was like, oh, that's 12 feet high. And it just went cruising by. But I did par it, so. Because it was just a layup. Jay Norris has just jumped in to say congratulations, great showing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Off to see an amazing concert in Lake Tahoe. Awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Fuji says last hole jitters. Yeah. Sometimes you're, even Paul Ulibarri has said, like, coming down the stretch, you get that adrenaline, you get that extra power, like you just unlock that extra distance. And he said that kind of cost him, I don't know if it was a world championship early on or what it was, but Coming down the stretch on either 17 or 18. Easy hole. He's birdied all week. Boom, 30 feet out of bounds. Long. Just like your body's like, I gotta get this, and you just rip it past. Can happen. Matthew Jarvis says, let's go. Where are you from? So I grew up in Michigan, lived in Florida for a little while, but now I am in Charlotte, North Carolina. So as far as where I'm like stationed, where I'm like filming and stuff like that, Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm playing a lot of the local courses, of which there are a great many good ones, which is awesome. But originally, yes, grew up in Jackson, Michigan. Enjoyed my life there, except for between October and March when the weather sucked. Then moved to Florida and said, yes, I can be outside all year round, and proceeded to pick up disc golf and play for 3 years, loving it. Then moved to Charlotte, and now I love disc golf. Can still play pretty much year round, but there are a few nasty weeks where I'm like, I don't know. Otherwise, loving the weather, loving the courses, having a good time. So yes, that's where I am. Braden Yoder says, had a dead center spit out in hole one at Harmony from 250 feet out. That would have tied me with you. Congrats on 15th, though. Very impressive. Thank you. Yeah, that is a bummer. And Braden finishing high up there, and your brother tied for 4th place with Vaughn? Question mark, I think. But yeah, that is brutal. But thank you on 15th. I was very happy with it. It was an exciting event. I had so many mistakes, but so many good moments, and overall, it was just such a blessing. Yeah. So thank you. Caleb Sneeze says, record on that course was even, so definitely a heartbreak. But the second round, I smoked it with a -4. Look at that. Jake Trippy says, what have I missed? I got a bunch of discs. Zone SS. Treason. Gateway Prototype. Scorch. Claymore. Swan 2. Loop. Mutant. Gorgon. Nice little hat. Medusa. And this thing. Wizard. All of those were players pack except for the Zone SS. What else did you miss? Nothing. I've just talked about those discs for an hour. Tournaments are often lost in the last 3 holes, at least in my experience. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You're coming down the stretch. Scores are sometimes kind of close. And then, yeah, you see what happens in the last few holes to separate scores. But, you never know. When I happened to win Chain Hawk Open in MA1, I believe I was 3 shots ahead with 3 holes to go, and I ended up winning by 4. So it's like, you never know. Sometimes you've just essentially got it locked in as long as you throw the dang disc in bounds, and you're going to be fine. Gannon's won by like 9 before, which is crazy. But yes, I mean, when you have playoffs, and Worlds came down to the last hole, to the last couple of upshots, it was absolutely crazy. Someone who ended up winning got pretty stinking lucky. They stayed in bounds on their upshot, and very easily could have just not been in bounds and had to toss back another layup across the creek and probably lose. So it's a game of inches. Matthew Jarvis says, yo, if you're ever in Columbia, South Carolina, we got you. Heck yeah. I'm sure at some point I'll be down there to compete for something. I think I've only played Westminster and USDGC Winthrop in South Carolina. Rock Hill. I think that's the only disc golf I've done in South Carolina so far. Ethan Holloway says, Chesco out Flight Bros DG. Check out Flight Bros DG. Same with the brother. I don't exactly know what that is, but I'm sure that's a YouTube channel with some good disc golf stuff. So there you go. Braden says, yeah, Austin is my younger bro. He can throw way further than me. It's annoying. I'm sure that is annoying. My older brother still throws a little bit further than me, putts a little bit better than me. Um, but I did better in Am Worlds than him. He didn't play this year. He's played in the past. But this year, I outperformed his past performances. It still feels like a win. Anyway, there's always a competition. Always competition. I feel like I'm still catching him though. He's still better, but I'm winning a lot against him. Random suit guy. How many discs do you think you have? So I counted a while back. I was at 245. Since then, I've probably accumulated 25 discs and given away 5. So yeah, something around 260, 270, something in there. Fuji says, twice I've won by a stroke. Talk about stress sweat. Yes. Same. The MPO tournament I won, I birdied the second to last hole, and Randy Styron, who's better than me, hit the band on his putt to allow me to par my final hole and win as a shotgun start. So I saw him miss the putt while I'm on the tee pad of the next hole. I saw him hit the band, and I was like, oh, I won. I just won. I just need a par. And it was an easy hole to par. So that happened with the last 2 holes. My MA3 Chainhawk Open win, A tier a couple of years back, I was 2 shots down with 2 holes to go, and I ended up going birdie against a par bogey to win on the last hole. And I played a tournament just after my birthday, and I needed to birdie the last 3 holes to win against a score that was already set. I think there was a 5 down set, and I was 3 down through 15, and I had to go birdie to go 6 down and win. So yeah, it definitely happens. Definitely happens. Awesome dies. Yeah, there's some cool discs in here for sure. A couple of really nice ones. Caleb Sneed, only been playing a few months. Once I get consistent releases, I'll be entering tournaments other than my local minis. There you go. That's the way to do it. I mean, get the practice in, get some comfort into it, and then start competing. I mean, you don't just want to like walk up and dominate, although it's a cool feeling, I guess, but you want to be like testing the waters and then like getting in. Oh, it's kind of warm. I belong here. So you wanna jump in and enjoy some events, some competition. But if you do it too early, it can be kind of like a oof. I didn't like that. Like I wasn't ready. Like you don't want to jump into a tournament your second week of playing disc golf. It probably would be a negative experience. Random Suit Guy, do you have a favorite mid-range and driver for hyzer? Depends on what you mean. If you're meaning stay on hyzer, or if you're saying throw with hyzer, because I throw the sole with hyzer, and I do hyzer flip turnover. That's my favorite disc to throw in hyzer, probably. Maybe the Brave. But if you're saying just for like a stock hyzer shot, I really don't tend to throw stock hyzer almost ever. I really tend to throw flat shots with more overstable discs. I guess the closest thing is my taco. I usually throw with some hyzer and just kind of throw it about 220 or so, and then get the flare to the left for a mid range. For driver, I guess the cap wrap I usually throw with a little bit of hyzer and get some skip on it too. Yeah, I guess if that's what you mean by throw with hyzer, then that's what I would say for my mid range and driver. But I tend to throw with a tiny bit of hyzer, so I do tend to like more understable discs, so that as I throw them, they flip up and drift to the right or turn over and get more of a flight path out of them than something overstable where when I would throw with hyzer, it just holds it and doesn't go as far. Yeah. Adrian says Star, Roadrunner, and Falk are great fairways that are awesome on hyzer. Agreed. And I had a nice Star Roadrunner that I lost long ago, but is in the bag for a long time. Sidewinder was in the bag for a long time. Mambo was in the bag for a long time. That was flippy. But a great disc. I haven't thrown the Falk, I don't think. I know it's a as I say, I know. I forget what the brand is. It's the Berg, the Stig, the Svea, the Falk. It's so stupid that I can't think of the brand. But there's just this tiny hole in my brain where the brand name is, and it's just eluding me. And Joey Buckets throws them, and it's Castoplast. Thank you very much, Adrian. Duh. Stoner throws a lot of Castoplast as well. Yes, Castoplast. I have multiple of their discs. Just fell out of my brain for a few minutes. Definitely happens. Well, I am very tired, so a couple more minutes. Ask a couple. Sorry. If you have more questions, go ahead and ask them because I'll be wrapping up the stream in just a minute. Jake Trippy says, Champ J's are perfect overstable for me. Slight Annie thrower. Champion J's. I have a J. It is not champion, but I think I have a star J. And I can totally see that because the one I have has some drift to it. I can see the champion plastic fighting that more and being more of a like swing out of the Annie. So I like that choice. That seems like a good disc. Brinson McBride says, Casta K1 feels so good. And congrats, dude. Great job last week. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. It was a crazy week. It was a crazy week. All of you, I could really feel all of your guys' support and encouragement. And it gave me a lot of momentum this weekend. Having the 2,000 putts before Am Worlds, I think was huge for how well I played round one because my confidence was very high and I only missed one putt in the circle. And it was just like, it really felt like it was a huge blessing from God. I put in all of the work that I could. I had all of you guys at my back. It was just a really special event for me. So thank you. Kevin Galloway says, Friday, 2:30 p.m. I don't know if I'm going to play Friday. I'm playing Thursday. Are you free Thursday? Why aren't you free Thursday, Kevin? Be free Thursday. Come on. Also, tell your brother that I took 15th at Am Worlds, and he has nothing to talk about anymore unless he takes 15th at some type of World Pickleball Championship, and then he can talk trash. Adrian says Casta K1 hand feel is chef's kiss. Random Sukai, I bought a Doomsday Frag and can't figure out how to throw it, when to throw it. Oh, okay. I haven't decided what I'm filming yet. I have the Doomsday, as they say, craft single, the square disc. I have not opened it because I went to Worlds and I just got back. I want to open it, but I think I'm going to film it. I think I'm going to film opening it and do something with it. I haven't decided. It's really inconvenient timing with my travels, but I haven't thrown the frag. I have no idea what it's going to do. I have the square disc. We can figure out how to throw Doomsday discs together. Back on my fall schedule. What? Fall schedule? That's super lame. It's still summer for like another month. Fall doesn't start until September 21st. I would know because it's so close to my birthday. Come on, Friday. Miss you. Oh. Yeah, miss you too a little bit. Friday. I just don't want to play Wednesday. I played today for a match play. I don't want to travel and then go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then compete Saturday. I don't like running into my competitions. I like break days, although I did it for Worlds. So maybe I should. I'll think about it. Adrian says, film it. Got my first ace with a Doomsday Desolation. Okay, cool. I will film it. I just don't know what I'm filming. I have no idea. No clue. But it'll be fun. Kevin says, thumbs up. Awesome. All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you all for the encouragement, for helping to be part of the celebration. Has been, like I said, very special for me. So I appreciate all of you. You guys are pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool. Thumbs up. Caleb Sneed says, 3 holes Doomsday only. Okay. It's a good idea. One train is game over for that disc. Looking forward to seeing your future wins. Thank you. I hope there are future wins. That would be great. Really appreciate it. Adrian says, take care until the next time. All right, guys. It's been great. Peace out. I'm going to get some sleep pretty soon here. All right. See you guys. Oh, I got to stand up. Oh.